Behind me here is an incredibly steep hill that should take me to a gold mine that I found marked on an old parish map. Quick change of hat, and now we've got to get hiking. My goal is to use my metal detector today to see if there's any quartz that's been thrown out of this old mine that might still be containing some gold. And if I find gold with this machine, I'm going to come back here and take hard rock samples from that mine to crush up. And I suspect this mine is going to be a great place to start because it's actually the head of a series of very large mines that feed a creek in the area. In my enthusiasm, I think I might have gone past it. Now I have to walk back uphill. Dang damn it. I had to scramble about 500 meters back up the hill, and it is a steep hill. But I can see the adit. I spotted this little square cut in the ground first, and anything square cut like this is man-made. You can see all the quartz that they've thrown up and out of the hole. We'll have to detect this. I'm really hoping when we get around there, it's still open, but it's not. Ah, the entrance is collapsed. Bugger. Well, the entrance might be collapsed, but there definitely looks like there's an old stope here. Oh yeah, that goes straight down. It looks like it's actually full of water too. Listen to this. This is definitely the lower adit that I was looking for. Above it should be more workings, but we're going to start detecting here. I started directly above the open stope and I got a little signal here. Very loud, but it's small. Just gonna check the surface stuff first. That sounds so good. It could be lead. Don't be junk. Ah, well, junk. You don't want to peak too early, so it's good to get that first bit of rubbish out of the way. Our open stope is just there, and this is the waste rock from that open stope. The waste rock is full of quartz like this, and the old timers are really good at chasing the main vein in their stopes, meaning that most of the quartz that was jettisoned from that hole as a waste product like this won't have any gold in it. But occasionally they would cut across a small vein that was containing gold that they couldn't see because they only had candles and no metal detectors. So I stripped the surface off a small area of this waste rock, and I have two signals that sound okay. And another one over here. I think that's going to be junk. I'm not sure about that one. Given that the last one was a bit of junk, willing to bet this will be too. That took entirely too long. Another nice big bit of lead. There is so much junk in this ground. It is insane how much rubbish I've dug up. I'm willing to bet if this is the first mine, there's going to be more mines up there. So we're going to go up, and with a little bit of luck, somewhere up that hill is going to be a piece of gold with my name on it. Normally I would never show you Google Maps for safety reasons for my spots, but there's a gully just here. I'm meant to be over on this ridge just here. So I've come down a fair way in the wrong spot. So that mine I just found wasn't the actual mine. That's a bonus mine. I thought it was the mine. I'm in the wrong gully. I got to go over there. It's going to be difficult to see this on camera. I suspect that is our mine right there. Isn't it funny? Miss it by an inch, miss it by a mile. One gully over I found a bonus mine that wasn't marked on the map. That's sick. This is going to be cool. We'll start detecting again. I've still got probably 2 hours of daylight. This is quartz that's been exposed to the oxygen and the outside elements for a long time, and it's still got all the right looking stuff for gold. I really want to take some samples of this to crush, but I'm honestly going to try and find a piece with that I know has gold in it, because I want to see some color today. This sounds very much like junk, but it's in the quartz flow, so you never know. There's got to be, yeah, more of that lead. So much lead. This one sounds a little more promising. I'm gonna bet that's gold. This hill is ridiculously steep. It sounds like gold, man. It sounds like it. I've now been at this for about 5 minutes. It's definitely in the scoop. Whatever this is tiny. I reckon it's gonna be a bit of junk. It's gotta be. Oh, it's certainly not gold, is it? Oh, it's whatever that is, which is definitely not gold. Now that right there is the mine I've been looking for. That's the mine that I've been looking for. Obviously it's collapsed, but there's a lot of quartz around, so fingers crossed, we dig a few more pieces of junk, maybe we'll get lucky. Very loud. All right, come on, show me the money. Oh, if that is what I think it is. Oh, we got gold. Oh, oh. Oh my god. Bro, I've been at this for hours. These hills are so steep. We got a piece. We got a piece! I can't see the gold on it, but that is a piece of quartz. And if a quartz piece is giving you a signal on the detector, guaranteed it's going to be gold. You have no idea how satisfying it is going to be to pop the top off this thing and put this specimen in there. We got one rattler. The most important thing to do after you get one is to go over this area, because if they lost one specimen, there's a really good chance they lost more in the same time they threw out all the rest of that junk. There's another signal. There we go. It's sharp, but it's not blanking the machine, so maybe. Can't see any junk or gold. What is that? That kind of looks like junk to me. When in doubt, spit on it. Oh, it's gold. Oh, it's gold. Oh, I thought that was a bit of lead. That's gold. I don't know how well that's going to come out, but there is gold all over one side of that piece of quartz. That is a specimen. This is why I persist in really hard to get to places like this. There's so much research at home and there's so much footwork out in the bush just to find a spot like this. And I know I'm the first person here. There's not a single detector hole. There's no modern rubbish. Like, this could be a little bonanza. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. This is why I love hard rock. I love it. I got two specimens right here. There's so much leaf debris and branches. We're going to clear it. We're just going to clear this whole area. Put all that loose debris away so I can get the coil close to the ground. That'll be junk, but we've got to get it out of the ground. That's gold. It's going to be big because it's so loud, so that's why I'm thinking it's junk. Just here somewhere. There we go. In the scoop. I'm starting to think this might be gold. It's one of these things. So we're going to go with this big chunky looking rock. Nope. We've got one piece of quartz here. Oh, I can see. I flipped it over and it's got a hunk of gold hanging out the side of it. Oh my god. Bro, look at that. It's got a hunk of gold hanging out the top of it. That is insane. We are 3 for 3 now. After that rough start. Look at that piece. I mentioned this earlier that I'm making a transition into mostly hard rock and metal detecting gold prospecting for reasons just like this. But to make that full transition, I'm going to need to invest in a lot of equipment. And on that note, if you want to help support the channel and that transition, my link for Patreon is in the description below. It costs $1 a month. We give away pay dirt, gold ore, equipment every single month. If you'd like to be part of that, the link is in the description below and there's no long-term commitment. It certainly couldn't all be gold. My first bit of junk from this spot. I've triple detected this, so we're just going to pull the top inch or so off and see if we can find any more. This first half has no gravel. That goes back to straight natural clay. But when I came over here and started detecting the rock that I pulled off the top of this section, which does have spoil in it, listen to this. Mick, how do you get it in the first scoop? How do you do it? Ah! Whatever this is tiny. It took me forever. But we got it in the scoop. It's tiny but loud. I'm gonna go with junk. Junk, junk, junk. My hand. And the scoop. Still in the scoop. I can't see anything gold coloured. Nah. Try this. Nah. This. Oh, I'm amazed at how sensitive this machine is. That is a piece of wire. I got another one. It's right where the wire was. I got a bit of wire and I was like, oh, I'll just double check to make sure there's nothing else. There was something else. I am fairly certain that this rock here is a gold specimen. Let's have a listen. Yeah, it's gonna be gold, baby. That is 4 gold specimens so far. Holy crap. Okay, let's talk complicated virgin ground. We have the mine, which is a nice deep hole into the natural soil. On this side of it, they have thrown out all of their waste rock. This slope up here is natural, that's not been touched. So if we follow that gradient down, we hit the hole, and we know that the gradient should come across roughly where my finger is, and then dip down underneath that pile and scoot off down the gradient of that hill. We've got the same thing here. The original level of the ground, it comes across and it joins up perfectly here. There is no pile of rock here. This is virgin ground. Some of this quartz that's been thrown up and out is probably quartz that came out of that hole, but their waste rock pile is over there, not here. Well, I've just dug down a reasonable way into that virgin soil. For a number of reasons this could still be junk, but listen to this. I reckon that's gold. This has got to be gold. This has got to be gold. It's going to be an okay piece, I reckon. That's gold. That's gold. Maybe it's not. Whatever it is small. Okay, it's that. Oh, it's gold! Ah, caught it! Yeah! This will be hard to make out. There's a run of iron going through the center of the quartz, and there's a ribbon of fine gold running through that. Oh, bro, what a day. This is so good. That thing up there is a giant ball of fire that lets us see in the daytime. It's known as the sun, and it's going down. Because of that, I've cleared a big area. I didn't get any more signals, and I came over here where there's more quartz. And wouldn't you believe it, as soon as I did that, I found a beautiful little gold specimen. This has been a spectacular day of gold prospecting. Because of that thing going down, I've just been hammering out targets. I found 2 more. This one's an Easter egg. I can't see any gold on it, but it's making a very loud signal. So there'll be a good bit of gold in that. This is what I love about hard rock mines like this, is I could go gold prospecting in a river and have to hunt down the good spot that might give me 0.05 grams per pan. But every time I dig up a piece of gold like this, it's going to be a 0.1 or more. It's going to be a good sized bit every time. I just got another 2 out of there. That is a beautiful specimen. Unbelievable. I am running out of light. It's so suspect moving any of the leaf litter because the quartz is tied up in it. And I'm just finding specimen after specimen. I got a good sound here. It's loud, but I mean, I've been finding enough gold today that a loud signal stands to reason that maybe, not first scoop of course. So loud, come on, be a good bit. It's good target sound. This bit of quartz? Yeah! Oh, I can see it, it's another one! Oh! Yes! I can't believe how many pieces of gold I've dug up today. Look at that piece. That's just another one. Still working, still finding them. Look at that gold. I am coming back here and getting into the mine. There is no way that behind me here there isn't some of this leader vein left. There absolutely will be, and I'm going to find it. I've had these just soaking in a little bit of water to get the mud off them, and we have some very pretty pieces of gold here. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of gold in these weight-wise, but they are some beautiful specimen pieces, so a couple of these aren't going to get destroyed. I'm going to be adding the one to the left to my own collection, and the one on the right is going to be given to a friend. And the rest of these are going to be added to a caustic soda bath. Sodium hydroxide, also known as caustic soda, dissolves silicates. We just add some of this into a stainless steel jug, add a tiny amount of water to it to make it a paste, drop our specimens in, turn the hot plate up to 350 degrees, and let them simmer for about 2 hours. These are the 10 specimens destined for the pot. Last chance to see them in their natural habitat. And I'll be back in about 2 hours to see the gold. Specimens are out of the caustic soda. And whilst the quartz didn't fully dissolve, we released a lot of the gold out of the rock. And the logic is, if we were getting that gold literally just spread on the surface without digging, it likely means that there was a quartz vein very close to the surface that they cut through and didn't know that there was gold in it. And maybe there's some remnants of that left in the mine. You know you're on the gold when you got goannas looking after it for you. How you doing? Now that we're back at the mine, I'm obviously going to do a little bit of detecting and see if I can't find some more specimens. All of the specimens I pulled out from this spot were sitting right on the surface, meaning that they were the last things to come out of that hole at the deepest point. That means that the old timers crossed a vein that had gold in it that they didn't see. So the question is, if we dig that hole out, what's at the bottom? All right, we got twig removal to do. That's some mighty fine looking firewood, but you know, there's no fuel load on the ground according to our government. So unlike the old timers, because there's a whole bunch of gold down in the spoil, got to throw the dirt up, which is just great. Yeah, it's a lot of topsoil. You helping or hindering? Fernie, it's always a little bit of a risk digging a trench lengthways with the mine because you run the risk of missing the vein, and that almost happened. Because this is lined up with the center of the mine over here, but the vein was just off to one side, and I've managed to hit the quartz vein just here. I know this doesn't look like quartz at the moment, but trust me, when I stick my pick in it, you got to hear what normal bedrock sounds like first, and then you got to hear what quartz sounds like. So this is normal bedrock over here. Hollow thud. This is a quartz vein. Hear that tinging? That tinging, that glass noise, is the quartz float coming to the surface. And I literally know it's quartz because you can actually see it in the rock here. Now obviously I'm going to detect this whole area that I've opened up, but I'm going to take a bunch of this back to crush because I found a lot of specimens right there, literally just next to this hole. And the chances are that there is going to be a float vein shedding that gold out into it, or the old timers cut across it and threw some of that up as waste rock. Either way, this might have gold in it. It would be really, really lucky if this was a quartz vein that was carrying detectable gold. You never know. Well, that's a sample out of the hole. No. Nah, that's a bit too easy. Ground balance. Could be ground noise, right? It's not ground noise. If that's in this pile of soil, I pulled this up just to see if I was on the quartz vein. If this is a piece of gold out of that, that is a load-bearing vein. I'm genuinely nervous right now. This is actually terrifying because if this is gold, that's a vein. Holy crap, that's gold. What the f***? Oh my god. That's a load-bearing vein. This is still shedding. They left this in the ground. They walked away. Look at that. This piece of gold represents a vein they didn't know was there. They were throwing this gold up and out. That's why I found so much of it just on the surface. I just stuck the detector in the hole. If this is gold, if this is bloody gold, that's solid virgin ground right there. That is bedrock. That has never been dug. We're in tree roots, like it's never been dug. This has never been dug. This has never been dug. If this is gold. It's out. Holy crap, no wonder I spent ages chasing it. I probably spent a good 15 minutes looking for this because it is a tiny little reef puglet I've found a lode deposit. That is a lode deposit. There's a goddamn reason that I chose to go into hard rock as opposed to alluvial, because this is the this is the holy grail of prospecting, and I'm literally standing on it. I collected a small parcel of ore from that vein before setting about detecting the nearby area to see if I couldn't hunt up any more specimens. Time to see if I can find any more gold specimens in this waste rock. And I'm off to a good start. I've pinged one real small one. There won't be much gold in terms of weight in this, but it gives us an idea of what to look for when it comes to geology. There's a lot of chalcopyrite mixed in with this, and that tells us what to look for in the ground. That sounds like junk to me. Let's see if the magnet picks it up. Yep, bit of iron. Still in there and getting louder, which is ominous. Come on, be a chunky one. This is the best worst bit, right? Because it sounds like a bit of junk. I'm going to try this really big piece of quartz because he's hoping. Ah, sadness. Alright, you're going to make me work for it, got ya. That's all I got left in my scoop. I'm going to try the big chunky boy first. Yeah! For a piece of gold to arc that machine out with that coil on, it means it'll be about a 0.1. So that's not bad. There's about $8 worth of gold. Oh, finally. They got louder. Maybe it's a bit of junk. Oh, it's in my hand. Ah, it's gold! That's the tiniest nugget in existence. They say it's not the size, but where you stick it. And I'm pretty happy to stick that in my collection bottle. 4 more specimens. We won't know how much gold until we crush it up, but it's still here. After a whole day looking, we got a few small specimens we could actually see the gold in, which is very nice. And many more that I can't see any gold in, but I know there is because we're getting a signal. So we're going to go back and crush these up. We got 11 gold specimens on the second day at this mine. And if our bag of ore has gold in it, these are all the specimens I managed to find detecting at this new mine. The gold for the most part seems to be in small chunks like this, which you can more clearly see here from the ones I removed out of the caustic soda or detected as individual pieces like that. This type of gold lends me to believe that the reef would have been rich in patches but pretty weak throughout the majority of the vein, because the caustic soda bath for the original specimens I dug up revealed very little fine gold coming out along with these chunky nuggety pieces, which leads me to conclude that I think this is nugget or nothing ground when it comes to this hard rock mine. And that very well may be the reason that they left it as just a simple open cut mine and then found richer ground elsewhere. Regardless, that's given me an opportunity to find 25 gold specimens. I think that's a pretty good day in anyone's book, but let's check this ore crush now and see how much gold we might have got out of a vein that they didn't touch. After busting a few of these pieces open, we can see a lot of chalcopyrite hiding within the quartz, and that is heavily associated with the gold that I found in the specimens. I put the ore we collected through 2 passes in the RC1. This is a rough crush. Obviously, we could go a lot finer, but it will give us a good idea if there is gold in that vein. Because if there is gold in that sample down there of any significant amount, I might have an actual gold mine to go back to and start working. This is simultaneously the best and most nerve-wracking part, because you just never know. All that work, all that effort you put in, and sometimes you hit it, but more often than not, you don't. There's a little spider. Get off the pan. Fernie, can you believe how cold it is today? We're only a couple of days into autumn and I had to put on my stolen Pioneer Paulie jumper. If I was panning on the creek, I would fully expect to see gold at the back of the rock there, but quartz is so light compared to gold. The gold tends to sit right down in the middle. Nothing can push it to the side like the black sands you get on a creek. And therefore, you usually don't know if you've got gold till you get all the way down. Typically, the gold you get out of ore crushes is very fine. So I might be able to see it straight away, and I'm going to have to zoom in on it with the camera for you guys. There is a lot of sulfides in here. That's a good start. Sulfides in my area, primarily iron pyrites and galena, which is a lead and silver sulfide. Where have we got gold though? We do have gold. Oh, look at that. This vein may actually be worth chasing. I need a larger sample size. We only had 1 pan's worth of material, but look at the gold that's given me hope. I didn't even fully fill this pan with concentrates. In typical hard rock gold fashion, the gold is extremely fine. Few coarser pieces, but most of it's probably sitting at 200 or 300 mesh. That's pretty damn good for such a small sample. Do you reckon I should go back? Let me know in the comments below.